So this video looks at comparatives and superlatives in Spanish. So comparatives is where we compare two things, so bigger than or smaller than. And superlatives tell us whether they're the biggest, the smallest, the longest, etc. So how do we form these? You might need to have a look at how you form adjectives in Spanish first before you do this video, and you also need to have a look at the verb ser, to be, so you can do some of the activities. If you know those, then that's fine. So there are three structures that we can use to compare in Spanish. We can use más plus an adjective plus que, which means more plus an adjective than. So we can have more big than, which would be bigger in English, but we could say more interesting than, which we wouldn't use for in English. Then we have menos plus an adjective plus que, so it's less something, plus the adjective plus than. So less interesting than would be more boring. So it becomes the opposite meaning. I'll give you an example of that in a minute. And then we've got tan plus the adjective plus como, which is as something as. So as big as. Again, it might give us an as well. Right, so this is an example. Tomás es más grande que Anton. Tomás is bigger than Anton. Similarly, we could say Tomás es menos pequeño que Anton. Tomás would still mean is bigger than Anton, but literally means is less small than Anton. So it's another way of saying the same thing. Okay. Mi libro es más largo que su libro. My book is longer than his book. Another example. Helena es más alta que Alicia. You also have to make sure you remember your adjectival rules. So alto changes to alta because we're talking about Helena. And our last example, los monumentos de América son tan interesantes como los de Inglaterra. The sites of America are as interesting as those in England. Again, I've agreed my adjective here with monumentos. Okay, so let's have a bit of practice. 5 to do. Okay, let's have a little go at this. Might need to use a dictionary for you to try and work out some of the words, and then pause it here and then play it for the answers. There might be more than one way of doing some of these. Okay, so the answers. Paul es más inteligente que Helen. We could say es menos estúpido que Helen, so we're doing the opposite, but that's the exact translation. My house is prettier than your house. Mi casa es más bonita. Remember, I've done my adjectival agreement here. Que tu casa. El perro es más feo que el gato. Mi tía es más vieja que tu tía. We could say la tuya as well. Again, I've agreed my adjective here. And the thing that I haven't mentioned before, make sure you've got the accent on the más, otherwise it means but. The exam is more difficult than the last one, or this exam. So, este examen es más difícil que el último. Okay, so I hope you've got the idea of that. Right, let's have a look at superlatives now. Superlatives, so when we use est in English, so biggest, smallest, prettiest, it's the prettiest house. Es la casa más bonita. It's the happiest school. Es el instituto más feliz. I'm the most intelligent in the school. Soy el más inteligente del instituto. Or la más inteligente if you're a girl. So el or la más plus an adjective would become the most something. Okay, so some practice. There's 5 to do on here. Again, pause it, have a go, and then have a look at the answers. Right, let's have a look at the answers. Es el río más largo. It's the longest river. It's the biggest shop. Es la tienda más grande. She's the tallest. Ella, we might want to put if we're not sure or it's ambiguous. Es la más alta. It's the ugliest town. Es la ciudad más fea. It's the most difficult subject. Es la asignatura más difícil. Okay, I hope you got the hang of it. Rewind it back, have another look at it if you're not sure.